Hey guys, Ray from Lovey RV and Boat. It's anchored in a nice quiet little bay here. The little project today is to install an upgrade to our boating system, kind of a safety and navigation upgrade. This is a Class B AIS transceiver from Em-Trak, models B954, and this stands for Automated Identification System. So what it's going to do is it's going to hook into our VHF radio system and use our antenna to broadcast information about our boat, location, speed, that sort of thing, size and everything of the boat, and allow us to see other boats around us that have this same system. So kind of a cool thing. It's actually, you can go online too and kind of look at where we are, because there's land stations that pick up when we're broadcasting and show where we are on the map. Like one's called MarineTraffic. Anyway, this one looks like a pretty cool one, very popular Em-Trak. We picked this one for a few of its features. Let's go over here and show you. We've got transmit and receive. You can just get receivers, but this also transmits our position to the boats around us. From a safety aspect, say it's very foggy or whatever, and boats are coming and they see us and we're on a collision course or something, they can actually know the name of our boat and call us and say, hey, where are you going? I'm going this way. How about you go that way, sort of thing. So it's very safe that way. We wanted it because we plan to go further afield, up north where there's narrow inlets and islands, and it can get to poor weather visibility, stuff like that. Especially you get those big cruise ships coming along, they can kind of warn us if we're in the way. This one's a 5-watt model. It also has Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, so this was very important that we could connect wirelessly to it. A lot of them will connect into your chart plotters, but we have quite an old system. And Anne usually uses her tablet, so we can connect and look on her phone and tablet and see things around us. It also has a VHF splitter, so it's easy to hook up right in line and use the same antenna as our VHF radio. It's IPX7 waterproof, so you can actually mount it outside if you want. And it also can hook up to the NMEA 0183 or 2000 protocols. I'm not going to hook it up to our chart plotter because we really don't use that for looking at charts, so it'd just be a hassle, and we have quite a cranky old system, so I don't even want to touch it if it's working. And it's got a built-in GPS, but you can optionally get an external GPS. Anyway, let's look at it. Here's the little device, quite small and compact. Has some lights that tell you what's going on with it. On this side there's the NMEA 2000 plug, and then this is the power plug or the 0183 protocol plug. So I'll just be using that for power. And then on the other side we have the antenna, so the VHF antenna, then the VHF radio, just standard connectors, and then this is to hook for an optional GPS antenna. Also in the kit we have a mounting bracket, so that mounts and you can just clip it in place, mount it with screws or 3M tape. We have a connector to go to the radio, so it's going to go in line, so this connector will go to our radio, and then that connector will go into the unit, and then this plugs in, and then it has our power wires there that I'll be hooking up, and then it has wiring for the NMEA, and also you could wire in, there's a couple wires to hook in a toggle switch to turn it into silent mode. In silent mode it would stop transmitting, but we can actually do that with the app too. There's an app that can come with this for setting it up, and also for monitoring it, diagnostics, that sort of thing. So we had to set this up to register our boat in the system. On the side here there's a little flap that opens, and they gave us a USB cord. So yesterday Anne plugged that into her computer and she inputted our VHF's MMSI identification number, boat name, size of the boat, that sort of thing, so that it can be registered in here. It can also, I think, be done through their app. But and did all that, and it was pretty easy. There was a program we could download, and it allowed us to easily do that. You only have to do that once. Also, we could go in and set up the Wi-Fi. So apps can connect by Bluetooth, but a lot of apps like Navionics, Aqua Maps, certain things, they want to connect through Wi-Fi. So this can be a Wi-Fi access point. Have its own Wi-Fi, but what I elected to do was make it in station mode and connect it to our router, our Wi-Fi. We have a Starlink internet dish and router, so I connected to it. Then all our devices just have to connect to Starlink, and then we can connect to this. The apps can connect to this. That way we can be using the app connected to this AIS server, but still be on the internet. We don't have to switch Wi-Fi to go onto this and then Wi-Fi to get back on the internet. Anyway, I'll show you that on my phone later. I think I'm going to mount it. They don't want it too close to any electronics that may interfere. They want at least 1.5 feet away, so that's where our radio is. So I'm going to mount it underneath, kind of at the back here, and then I can run wiring down into here. I've already kind of put in a wire and a fuse. I want a 3-amp fuse for the power, so I just went into the same wiring that was existing for the VHF radio and tapped in before this fuse. It's on a 15-amp breaker downstairs, and then I'll put in a 3-amp fuse and connect it to this wire, positive and negative, and that'll get me power to this puppy. And then on here, I'll just be able to take this, open up this clamshell fair, and change the wiring so that I can hook it right in line with this VHF radio. It's an ICOM radio, it's pretty good. And then it'll be broadcast through the same VHF antenna here. This is a new Shakespeare antenna, 8-foot antenna that I installed, so it should work pretty good. Okay, got the installation done. So there's an antenna wire coming over this way. And you can see I've mounted it in the back wall there. And it runs into this radio. And I'll show you my wiring mess back here. Anyway, I've ran the power along the same down. And you can see right in here, I put a 3-amp fuse in there, and I've wired it into the VHF radio. Down here we got VHFs coming up from below, from a breaker below. This one is going back down to the lower helm radio, but I'm going to be cleaning up all this wiring soon. This is just temporary. I'll get these wires onto the bus bars, positive and negative bus bars, and try to label them a little bit better. It's on my list to clean up all this wiring from the previous owners. Try to sort it out, upper helm and that. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So there's 12 volts, been fused with 3 amps. Comes up, that's the VHF radio install. I just wound up the extra wiring up there. And she comes down here onto the holder, which I can unhook. I can also easily poke my head in and see the status lights if I need to. So let's turn her on, see what happens. Daylight time Sunday. Ridge located at 1600. Okay. Daylight time Sunday. VHF is still working. That's the marine weather. Go in here, and we have 1 green light, so that's an all good light. So yeah, I have it hooked up, so if I want to turn off the main VHF breaker, it'll shut that down. Okay, so here we are, MarineTraffic website. It gathers all the boats. They're broadcasting an AIS signal. And you can see here's Vestri right here. There we are. And it's working. Click on the name. Gives you some vessel details. Go over there. You can upload a photo, etc. So, it's working. And then as we're moving, you would see, right now we're just sitting there. But when you're moving, you'll see the boat say, here's rocket. And it says how fast it's going, and you can do its pass track, etc. So, seem to be working. That's cool. Anyway, that shows that our signal is being broadcast and it's being picked up by the land stations and then fed into this website. So let's look at the apps on the phone. So here is the Em-Trak app. So you can see there's vessels around us. You can click on it and it'll show down here right now saying name unavailable. But as it populates information, it might actually say its name. It's picking up 9 vessels, 8 in view. Go down here and you can see all that one's a base station. But I've seen it start to pick up names as it's on for a while. And the other one I've been using is this Aqua Maps. That's what I use on my phone. So you can see here, there's a boat that's showing its heading. Click on it and I can get some information about it. Oops, didn't quite get it. There we go. Information, boat type, length, speed, it's going 31 knots. So same thing, the names will be populated as we go, and uses a Navionics on a tablet. So this is all set up to feed through the Wi-Fi. Down here I have a setting for Wi-Fi connections and AIS connections. It's the same for a lot of the chart software. Just go back to this setup one. If we go in here and hit the gear icon, that's where we can go check diagnostics. Tells us everything is working. GPS performance, shows the satellites in use, GPS fix, and you can set different serial rates for hooking up to your chart plotter and stuff. So yeah, it's pretty cool. My AIS gives me my VHF number, the name of the boat. I can edit vessel details in that, or there also is software for the computer. So I've left this chart program running for a while, and slowly it's populated a lot more of the boat names. You can see in here Avalon, Northern Oasis, Daycheck, Western Titan. Some are still MMSI numbers. But I think I read that the Class A ones will send the name more often than the Class B kind of recreational boaters. So sometimes it takes a while to update some of the names. You can see there's quite a few all around. That one there, that Daycheck, is a ferry, I think. Boat type passenger, total length, call sign, MMSI number, Class A AIS class, course, speed, underway using engine, that sort of thing. Anyway, it's going to be a handy device for us. Till next time, Ray from Love You RV and Boat. Thanks for watching. Cheers, guys.